All
Oh,
right,
we're
it
hot.
is saying that we are live. I'm not seeing it on YouTube, but what's going on, everybody?
Howdy, howdy.
Welcome back into another live stream of Gearhaulics here. I'm joined by Snackbox, Huck, and a guy who only likes to join to trash our live streams, Taylor from Southern Hike. What's going on,
What
gentlemen?
up?
How's it going? Welcome in. How you feeling?
Good, man. Good.
Everybody, I hope everybody's feeling confident tonight because we are doing our first ever loadout showdown. This one, we decided to start off with a bang here, and we've got our ultra lightweight kits. So here's a scoop. I'm going to do a little bit of a backstory here to kind of introduce this one. About a month ago, I tried and failed miserably to start up another hashtag challenge called 2024 UL Kit. Now, whether it's because nobody does hashtag challenges anymore on YouTube, they were either intimidated or more than likely they just didn't give a crap. Nobody decided to join except for, I just want to give props to and big ups to my man Rod from Rod Outdoors. He was the only one who joined in, so definitely check him out, give him a bunch of love and 1,000 subscribers. But so instead, what I decided to do here is coerce and blackmail a few other friends here into making their own lists, much to Jared's chagrin of actually hating making lists and sticking to them. So yeah, we've got our UL loadout kits that we're going to jump down tonight. What we're going to do is we're going to go through all of the different categories, mostly major categories, because I know that not a lot of people like to go through every single bandage and stitch in their medical kit.
Ooh.
So we'll save you the boredom on that one. We're going to go in ascending order, not descending order. So we'll start with more of the generic stuff and kind of end with a big bang of the big four list, and then stick around to the end for the 10 to 15 people who are actually going to stick around to the end. We're going to do a poll, and we're going to crown one winner here for our first ever loadout showdown. So what do you say? You guys feeling good? You feeling comfortable? You feeling confident? All right.
Think
I
so.
one banner up here. There you go, official banner. And what we're going to do is we're going to start with a couple of different kits here. I've got on my slate here the poop and filtration kits. I know that's another one of Jared's favorite topics is to talk about poop here, but I've got, in my view here, we've got Huck going first. So I'm going to shut up now because I've been rambling on for a little bit. So Huck, what do you got in your poop and water filtration? Oh, I also want to interject one more thing here and remind everybody I posted the links to our lighter packs and pack wizards in the description down below, so you can click on those and kind of go along with us, because screen sharing is going to be kind of hard. It's going to be rapid fire here, so we're going to be talking about a lot of different things. But first up here, poop and water filtration kits. Pro tip, don't put them in the same bag. Huck, what do you got? Did he freeze on us?
Oh boy. So yeah, Hilltop bag.
Oh, we got it.
Oh no. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna say no. I'm good. Okay. So the Hilltop bag with toilet paper, some wipes, what else I got in there? Gosh, Gold Bond, trowel. Yeah, I don't use the bidets at all. I gotta use paper. I'm not using my hands or anything like that up there, because I like to eat with my hands, you know?
Yep.
And then and then my water bag, same thing, a Hilltops bag with the Platypus Quick Draw and a 2-liter Vecto. Love that thing. Platypus is like, it's changed my life from that bee-free. No more clogging.
Okay, sounds good. All right, Taylor, you're up next. What do you got? Poop and water filtration.
So I literally just added my trowel on the fly because I totally forgot about that until you said it. So
man, 10 points off right there.
Use the Hilltop packs or the Apex Giant dirt diggler.
Yes.
I'm looking to the left because I'm looking at it, and I think I have both of them, but I think I used a small one, and so I have been around the world when it comes to water filters, but I am back to the Sawyer Squeeze because it literally has been rocking and rolling for me probably the last year now. And I've kind of gotten a routine to figure out how to clean it and everything. And it's just working now. That with the 2-liter Vecto, the CNOC, Canuck, whatever you call it, bag.
Very nice. Jared?
Yeah, so I've got the Be Free, and so that's my water filtration kit. I don't actually carry a trowel because I use trekking poles to scrape out my cat holes, or nearby rocks, that sort of thing. So
Look at this,
I
bro.
need. What's that?
I said, look at this, bro.
Yeah, well, I've never in my life seen a trowel that can actually dig a hole. So I end up taking this trowel, and then I can never get it to actually dig through any of the soil. So I end up having to grab a rock anyway. And the Be Free is is fine. I do like the Sawyer. I've just had problems with the O-ring getting lost, and so I've had to bail on a couple of different hikes because that O-ring falls out and you can't filter or build up the pressure to move it through the filter. But if you can keep track of that O-ring, then those are really money. I really like those as well. But I'm using that Be Free.
Dude, I've never. That is the first time I've ever heard of that. Somebody
What, the
losing the
O-ring?
O-ring. Yeah.
Oh, it's like
Yeah.
super common because it
I've
does
heard
is
of
if
it,
it'll stick in your bottle and then it'll fall out when you lift up the thing.
Oh, you use a bottle with it. Okay, maybe that has something to do with it.
Yeah, I use a smart water bottle when I'm using those, and it's nice because like the nice thing about the Sawyer is that when it's in your side pouch, the Sawyer actually extends the bottle where you can grab it and just kind of go this way. It's a lot easier
That's
to get your
right.
water bottle out. So I do like that. But I had 2 different hikes where I stopped to refill my water and then got back on the trail. And when I tried to drink anything, there was just no pressure. And I would have been a couple of miles from the water source. So it's really super frustrating when that happens.
Yeah, no joke, man.
Yeah, but they
for sure.
started including, it's such a problem. They started including extra O-rings now with the packs when you buy them, which is nice at least, right?
You're going to make me carry one in my ditty bag now that you've said that.
You should, 100%. Yep.
Look at Doc.
Oh, yeah.
Pole dancing. I don't want to see you guys either. No, only Jared does that when he's eating his funky snacks. All right, let me round this one out here with mine. I'm going to contest the Be Free there, unless you've got super clean water. I've heard it backs up a little bit there. They do include the O-rings. I'm probably going to lose some points on this one, but I'm including let me see if I can get into the frame here. The Sawyer Mini here.
Oh, man.
Admittedly, horrible flow rate. I'm going to have to admit that, but we're talking about UL kits here, and it's not as bad as the Micro. And as you can see in my kit, I also carry the back plunger with it. So I have this for a few years already,
dude.
religiously back plunge it, and it has never failed me. It's still going strong. Yes, I got to spend an extra minute or so filtering my water,
A minute or so.
It's
you're going to Rip Van Winkle it. You're going to end up.
Hey, you know what? I'll challenge you in a speed test any day, Jared. Bring it on.
There's no way it'll win. There's nothing with better flow than a good Be Free.
I'll get you on some silty water, and I'll win by a mile.
And that
I have
not with that Mini. That thing will back up just as fast, if not faster.
No way. Tried and true. And then for my poop kit, I was too cheap to get the brand name, so I got the Vargo Dig knockoff from mainland China, from the titanium products over there. And then I have some of the dehydrated wipes just off of Amazon, and then some hand sanitizer. So I'm like you, Huck. I'm not getting in there with the hands just yet. I like it for home use, but not for out in the backcountry. Gotta kind of split that one up there.
I like the mainland detail. Like that's like the real trowel connoisseurs will be looking for that. It's a good year for rain.
The only place they stamp them. The only place they stamp them. All right, good roundup of those kits, guys. Let's slide on over into the next category that I have here, which is your extra pack clothing. So not your worn clothing, but anything extra, right? So I know a couple of you guys on here ended up going with some warmer kits. So you guys are going to get kudos points for that. Mine is more for warmer weather, but Huck, what extra clothing do you have in here that's not part of your worn weight?
So I've got one extra pair of socks, darn tough, extra pair of ex officio underwear, my alpaca fleece beanie, and then I got my Alpha Direct 90 hoodie from Lightheart Gear. Weighs like 5 ounces. And on top of that, just a Mountain Hardwear air shell wind jacket. And for the most part, because this is my summer kit, I'll stay warm out there. Don't need much more.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, I know that you're when we get to your sleeping kit, you can get down a little bit farther, but I know in particular too, like when we were on Joshua Tree, all you really
Yes.
needed was kind of like that mid layer when you go to sleep.
Yeah.
Unless it's like really, really cold, then you might need like an outer shell or like
Yeah.
a puffy, but I'm liking
Yeah,
I'm liking that list.
Now with temperatures out here in the 90s during the day and it's only like maybe in the 50s at night up there. Yeah. You don't need
Oh, yeah.
much.
Right on. All right, Taylor, what you got?
All right. So these are two more things I didn't add on there, but the first two things that Huck said, I am the same. That is the Darn Tough. I keep an extra pair of those, and then I keep an extra pair of the Ex Officio underwear. And then the two things I did list is we are including jackets with this, right? Or things like that.
Yeah.
Okay, in that nature.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a Mountain Hardwear Ghost Whisper 2 that I carry. Unless I usually carry that unless I'm expecting rain. I know we're talking about a particular kit, but if I'm expecting rain, I do have a synthetic like a Tord. But my rain jacket is the Marmot Precip Eco, which has been I've tested that thing multiple times now and it's done great.
Very nice. Any trash talking on that one, or should we slide over to Jared? Hey, that's what it's all about, guys. We got to get in the jabs here.
I don't know about Taylor. Like Taylor didn't have like a beanie or anything like that. I guess you just wear your hat. But
I didn't see the puffy on your list either. There.
I need a beanie when it's out there.
Absolutely. So this is I guess this is more my 3 season. If it's dead winter, I'm definitely carrying a beanie, and I'll have a pair of like leggings also that I'll carry. That's kind of like my sleep kit. I don't really carry a sleep kit, but I'll have those with me to put on when I lay down.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you probably could have saved a little bit there if you swapped out the puffy for just like a mid layer, but I think your kit goes down to like 30 degrees as well too. So kudos on that one. All right, Jared, what do you got for any extra clothing there, or are you just going Rambo, just like you like to dig your cat holes?
Yeah, I typically will free ball when I'm hiking, and so no, I've got a So the first thing to know is that I sort of set this up thinking about these hikes that I've done in Colorado, right? So these multi-day, multi-week hikes. So I typically don't carry any pants. I'll carry an extra pair of boxers, just one pair of shorts, but I do carry like 5 pairs of socks. So they're ankle socks. And the idea is that if I can keep fresh socks on my feet, then I avoid blisters and I can make up any lost time from the extra weight, right? Because it's not really that much weight or space. I do carry a down puffy typically, and sometimes a base layer in case it gets cold. That way I can wear a long sleeve that's dry. That's in the mix too. And then I think I have maybe one other item here that's like, I take gaiters, which I think kind of count in that mix, even though they're worn. I think they're extra and additional, but they're not terribly heavy, and they save quite a bit of time whenever you're not stopping to empty rocks out of your shoes every 5 miles or so,
Yep, that's pretty solid. I think you could probably throw that in worn because you're probably going to be wearing unless you carry extras. For mine, I don't have much either. Extra pair of undies, extra pair of socks.
Hey, hold up now. We didn't get to comment on Jared for what you know.
Oh, man. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, this is not saying that this is what you should do, but last year I did wear a pair of Darn Tough socks 8 days in a row without,
wow.
Here's what happened though, and here's where it all started. Is in 2015, I hiked the Collegiate Loop in Colorado, right? So it goes around the Collegiate Mountains. It's 160 miles, and I took 3 pairs of socks, right? And I kept one for sleeping in and the other 2 for hiking in. And they were by the second day, they were so bad at sort of cushioning that I had blisters so big I could hear them sloshing. And by the last day, I couldn't even fit my boot on my foot. So I had one foot in a boot, one in a flip-flop. And it was awful. So when I started hiking with when I moved over to the what do you call them, the trail runners, then I could trade out those big socks for like the smaller ankle Darn Toughs. But to your point, the Darn Toughs they're incredible. And so if you do need to squeeze 2 or 3 days out of them, they are really good. I've had a couple of other brands that promise no blisters, and so they definitely gave me blisters.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've had my troubles as well, and you're starting to persuade me a little bit there, Snackbox. I'm considering it, but not just yet. But I just want to pull up before I jump into mine. We've got Doc's comment here: undies, just free ball it and forget the socks too.
What a rebel!
That's just hard call, man. Hardcore for sure. All right, for mine, I don't really have too much either. Again, warmer weather stuff. Just have an extra pair of undies, extra pair of socks, and then for my mid layer, I went with the Senchi Ren, which is sort of similar to what Huck has going on. I think that Alpha Direct material is becoming a lot more popular nowadays, coming in a lot of different weights, and I think we saw it in our last recording with Snackbox and Huck here, where we were looking at the common PCT gear, and I think it even dethroned the Melly, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So it's definitely becoming pretty popular.
Yeah. Now, just as a point of clarification, I hiked with you in 70-degree weather with the weather dipping down into the upper 50s, and you carried a full down suit. Pants, jacket, the whole deal.
Oh, this dude was ready.
Oh,
and so I don't know.
I don't know
what kind of warm weather it would take for you to leave the down suit at home. You might be hiking. It might be sweltering where you are, like hiking on the surface of the moon or Mars or something. Right?
That's true, but it's not on my list, so it's not there. I do have it at the ready. I actually just busted it out not too long ago on a car camping trip. It's nice.
They get down to 72
nice.
For you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It was super chilly. All right. Wow. Slide on over into the next one. This is going to round out probably the kits, and let's go with your cook kit. Huck, start us off. What do you got in there? Yours is an interesting one.
Yeah, so it's the MSR Pocket Rocket 2 mini stove kit. Weighs like 9.8 ounces. It comes with a cup that slides on that if you're not careful with, you'll burn that cup. I've done it like 3 times now. I'm on my 4th cup because I forget it's on the pot itself. I put it on the Pocket Rocket 2 and it just burns up, melts the plastic, and I don't got a coffee cup for the day. But that itself weighs 9.8 ounces. And I just use the Hilltop bags, food bag. And then on top of that, it's just the Human Gear. Was it the Duo fork and spoon kit? So that way it goes together. That way, yeah, the Go Bites, yeah. And then I just use a little Hilltop bags rock bag with it's got like 50 feet of line, got a carabiner in there, and then that dog bone that Ben makes. Excellent for the PCT hang. I love it.
Very cool. That's pretty solid. Yeah. Are you sure you didn't want to go with the Taylor hack on that one? Just go with like no handles at all and just go with one of those little pot grippers?
So this doesn't have handles, so it does come with a pot gripper.
Ah, boo, man. I'm protesting those all the way.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The handles are so worth it. That's like, cutting off the ankle of your sock because you're not technically using it, It's like I'm just gonna cut off the nipples on my shirt because I don't technically need those.
I have to say
it's nice to have.
I wasn't sure how I'd like it when I first got it because I'm so used to handles, but it works fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, whatever you do, if you ever get one of these, Matt also did the same thing. Our buddy Matt, he burnt one of his too. Put it right on the Pocket Rocket 2 and forget about it. So yeah, not good.
The other side and the problems of nesting gear. Yeah, for sure.
Yes.
All right, Taylor, what do you got in your cook kit here?
I can't.
I'm gonna ask you for one of your items too, by the way, just before you start. So get ready.
Say that again.
I'm gonna blast you for one of your items here that you have on.
It sounds like you already were, but I was actually adding stuff as y'all were talking.
Boo. Unprepared.
No, I had some stuff, but I thought about some other things while I was at it. But so I definitely do like that Soto, by the way.
Which Soto?
It's the oh, dude, I'm gonna have to go look at it.
Windmaster or Amicus?
No, not the burner. It's the pot. Okay. I'm sorry, I should have clarified that. But hang on, give me 2 seconds. I'm trying to make my way there. There I am. So I just want to make sure I say the name right. It's the only reason why I'm taking forever. All right, so it is.
I'm gonna pour some more whiskey.
It's the titanium pot, the ultralight backpacking pot with a lifter. That's the first time I heard it put that way. A lifter for backpacking. Anyways, it's the 750 milliliter, but that is not the one I put on my kit because I know Dave is just going to trash me on that one. I got so many interesting comments in that video. So, anyways, I went to Toke's 550. That's one I've used forever. And I will say the BRS is one that I swore I would never. The BRS stove I swore I would never use for years, and I actually been using it probably about a year and a half now. And then what was something else I wanted to talk about? I can't remember. I used the titanium long handle spoon, that Toke's spoon that I've had that one.
Mug in here.
Yeah, and then the Infinity backpacking mug. That's the GSI one. That thing's been rocking along for a long time. And coffee is the most important thing to me, so I've got to have something to put it in. And then, of course, a big mini lighter. And then I use the cord winder from Hilltop Packs, and then a food bag, and then a rucksack. And I haven't been carrying the dog bone, to be honest. I just been doing it the old throw a rock over the top and pull it up. That's about it.
All right, here we go. First of all, your BRS stove, you're going to have to recount that because I think it's closer to 1.5 ounces rather than an ounce. So when every gram counts here, make sure you get those.
Wait, where did I have it listed as grams? Excuse me. It says grams, not ounces.
Well, switch it. Well, whatever you do it in, recount it because you're a little bit light there. And yes, we're talking about ultra snobs.
We can trash Justin for that because I grabbed it off of there. I did not put that data in there.
Taylor's an engineer, so he's probably taking a Dremel and shaving off that way. So he's got the modified BRS.
Thin it out some more with the Dremel tool.
What was the other thing too is, man, the other thing I was going to say is, man, you're putting a lot of faith in that one mini Bic lighter. I know they're pretty indestructible, but you don't have an igniter on yours, and you got to carry that backup. I don't know.
Hang tight. Let me up that quantity real quick. All right, I fixed it. There's two because one of them I carry on my hip belt. Now I've got two.
It's going to be one of those. It's going to be one of those like Mary Poppins, like it's in my med kit kind of thing with a lot of different things we're going to be talking about. I slide it in there.
I up the quantity real fast.
Jared, up to you. You
all right?
You
so
cold soak in here?
Yeah. If I'm trying to make big miles and do it quickly, then cold soaking is the way to go. So I got that Talenti jar. Plus, it gives me a reason to do.
I'm about to trash you.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people like it. If I were doing like a shorter trip or something, then I definitely like to take that GSI Soloist. I love that pot. I think it's really
that's a good one.
Yeah, I really like that one. And then also either the BRS or the MSR Pocket Rocket Deluxe. I like both of those stoves quite a bit. But if I'm just trying to go, if I'm talking ultralight, and that really is what my goal is, then I'm going to cold soaker and ideally probably take food that is like stoveless anyway. So tortillas and peanut butter and cheese and salamis, that sort of thing. But yeah, so I'll do also, you know, Taylor mentioned coffee. So I'll do sort of the cold soak, the shake up a little bit of coffee in my bottle in the middle of, or in the beginning of the morning and have iced coffee from the river or whatever. And I have like everybody else, I've got that Hilltop Packs food bag, which is, if you don't have one of those, everybody needs to get one because they're great. They're high quality and they're really helpful to have.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much on everybody's list here. I'm going to challenge you on that one because I thought I heard it from you that cold soaking doesn't necessarily save you weight in your pack. Is that true? Because your overall, the weight of the food is heavier, right? Because it's not dehydrated?
No, stoveless doesn't save that much weight. So that's because you're taking like the heavy tortillas and peanut butter. But cold soaking absolutely saves a ton of weight. But it is, you have to be tired and really just like not care what you're eating at the end of the day. Because it can be pretty rough to eat ramen that's cold or whatever, mashed potatoes. That's not my absolute favorite.
Ramen, couscous.
There will never be a day I do that.
Well, I mean, you eat like cold macaroni salad or something at a picnic, right? So it's not that
dude,
far
I don't
off.
see. I don't like mayonnaise, so it ain't happening.
Terrible.
Man.
I'm just going to throw up here real quick because Doc made another excellent point. An empty Bic lighter will still spark, so you can kind of use it as a flint. I'm not sure if I would.
That's going to burn the hair off my fingers doing that.
Yeah. But I mean, when you're in a pinch, when you're only packing that one lighter, Taylor, you know, you got to do what you got to do here. All right. I guess over to mine. I'm going to get a lot of trash from mine because I'm going with Jared's favorite, and that's the alcohol stove system here. Hard to get much lighter than this. Yes, you're going to be waiting longer for your water to boil, but it is super ultra light. So I also went with the Tokes. And I think I went with the 650. Yeah, the 650 over the 550, just a little bit extra space because I know, with me and my klutziness, if I went with the 550, I'd probably end up like boiling over because I do end up maxing out around 2 or more cups sometimes. Got a couple of the lighters in there. Got the Tokes titanium long handle spoon, polished bowl, and then pair of hot lips because I don't carry an extra mug. Little microfiber towel to wipe it out, and then for the stove, I mean, you could just use heat or denatured alcohol, but for the stove, I'm going with the German company X Boil, and they have an ultralight option. So they have a windscreen and stove that kind of comes with it, and it also stores a little bit of fuel in there. You can kind of snuff it out so that you're not lighting me on fire like Jared almost did. So that's my cook kit right there. So it's a little bit harder for me and Huck out here. A lot of places where they're banned, but if it's an option for where we're hiking, if it's an option, I'm definitely going to grab that. Especially if not, if I have to go canister, probably will go with the BRS. But it kind of just wins by default. Not that it's a great stove or anything.
I think you saw the BRS and how well it did in Joshua Tree.
Oh,
I think it was
absolutely
just a little bit of wind. It was just a little bit of wind, and it took forever for a boil.
Yeah. I backpack with As the Crow Flies, and he carries 2 of those. He carries one of them in his cook kit and one in his ditty bag. He says he always just feels like he needs to have that backup.
Wow. That sounds like spot on for Crow, right?
Yeah, it does.
That's the kind of thing we do. I bet you with Crow, if you got down to brass tacks and like checked the glove box of his car, his briefcase, and probably even like he's probably in a Bible got it cut out to where a BRS would fit into it, and you can close it and keep it safe from the Gestapo.
With extra O-rings too, I'm sure.
Right. I will say though that I do like I'm not against the alcohol stoves, Dave, to your point. It's just the fire bans are always, unless I'm out there in Taylor's neck of the woods where it's like almost it's the step below a rainforest, right? Like actually, coincidentally enough, at the base of this where this photo was taken, there's a forest fire raging right now. I got a number of messages about it, and it's so there'll definitely be fire bans out there in Colorado this year too.
Okay, let's switch it up and go over to how many more do we have here? I think I only have one other thing to talk about. It's really just one item. It's getting rid of the kits here before we get into the big 4. And at the end too here, fellas, I'm going to leave some time for honorable mentions. So anything that like we didn't cover in these categories, if you want to, make your last stance there and pitch for any extras in there to get those last minute votes, you can do that as well. But the next one that I have here is your SAT device, your satellite device. What are you using? I think 3 of us are using one, and only Jared's using a different one. So Huck and Taylor, what are you using?
InReach Mini, which I've had since 2018, and when it's time to upgrade, when that finally fails, if it ever fails, it'll be the InReach Mini 2, or maybe the 3 if that ever comes out, just so I can use USB-C. But it's reliable, sends messages, I get messages. I can use, I don't know, a lot of people, I like to, I don't know, the Zolio, you can use your phone. It's like, I use my phone with a freaking Garmin InReach all the time. And if I'm in service, I'm going to use text messages. I'm not using my Garmin. So, yeah. Garmin InReach for the one.
Yeah. All right, same thing there, Taylor.
Yeah, I have the InReach Mini 2. I didn't actually have a SAT device until I had a kid. And I got to check on him. So to make sure at all times, even if it's just a message at night, to make sure Rachel and our son is okay. That's literally what, I mean, that's a nice thing to have for safety, but I use it primarily for that, just to talk to them.
Okay. All right. I'm also going to go here. I'm going to skip you here, Jared. I'm going to say the Garmin InReach as well. I also have the micro USB, not the 2. It would be nice, like Huck said, to have the USB-C, but for the cost of this thing, like I'm waiting until this thing is dead and gone before I pick up a new one here. The one thing I will knock these two guys on here is going to be, how do you clip it to your backpack? If you're using the Garmin clip that comes with it, add a 1/2 ounce. I don't know what that is in grams, Taylor, but add a 1/2 ounce, because 3.5 is just like the FlexTail Zero pump. It's only the weight of the unit, but you need something to attach to the back of your pack. Not necessarily, but if you do use one, you got to add the weight for that as well. So, Jared, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have hard opinions about this. I just like the Zoleo for a handful of different reasons. My only experiences with the Garmins have been people being frustrated with them and standing on hills and like trying to get the messages to go through and tapping on their thing. So, but that's not anything other than like a couple of different anecdotes, and they might've been using something totally different. I just like the Zoleo because you can also have a subscription where it lowers, you go $4 and then you can just re-up it whenever you need to go. So you're not paying like an annual, you're not paying the fee. So it works out better in that case. But really, if it works it's not a hard line in the sand. And kind of to Taylor's point, I didn't carry anything until I had kids in the mix. And now I just have to pretend the Zoleo is broken so I can get a break,
Well, look, hey, I tell Rachel, I'm like, it's 50 cents a text message. So let's be clear and cut. Everybody's safe.
Yeah.
I'll talk to you tomorrow.
There's been times where on big trips, I let my friends use it and I get back, the bill's like,
oh, you get a bill.
Like, oh, wow. But
no way.
Yeah, it's like on a week-long trip, so it's like everybody's using it or whatever, which is fine. Like, but
you should have just invoiced everybody at the end of the trip.
That's a good idea. I got burgers and beer. I get burgers and beer, so I'm good.
Oh, there you go. That's a fair take.
But you guys carry it for your kids. I carry it because in 2017 I had a blood clot in each lung. So yeah, I have pulmonary embolism. So one in each lung. Never know what caused it. So
goodness gracious.
Yeah.
After following that whole Dixie fiasco, I'm like nervous to press that button now, because I'm like, man,
just get the extra insurance. It's like $39 or $30 for the year.
Yeah. I think I definitely got to do that
recently, and
you do have to be careful though. Like, you got to be real careful, because if you try to send your partner like a spicy message on that and you accidentally hit SOS, then the search and rescue shows up in lingerie. It's real uncomfortable.
Yeah, watch out.
Oh, man.
Depends where you're getting that from. If it's made from like the Palm Springs,
yeah, it could be a whole different thing, right? Yeah. You got a bunch of people coming over from Coachella.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't really have a good reason as to why I carry mine, but it's mostly because I don't know what the hell I'm doing out there. But if I do go out, it's all about the presets, man. I'm telling my wife all the time, like, don't respond. I'm only gonna send you the presets and everything is good. Because you're right, man. It stacks up quick.
That's the other thing I like is the presets. You get three free presets. I just set up like starting my hike, camping for the night, made it back to the trailhead, and those are the ones I usually send out.
Yeah.
It doesn't cost a thing.
What I have done is like last year when I was like on trail for like 10 days, I upgraded the plan to the higher one, because I knew either way I was going to send enough text to meet that for that month anyways. And that way I didn't even have to worry about it. It was like, it took care of all the texting I did anyways.
Right on. All right, I wanted to pull one up here real quick from Mr. John Stewart here. He's a famous celebrity that keeps joining our live streams here. So what's up, John? He goes, hey,
I saw that yesterday.
New satellite features on iPhone. Is that new as of yesterday, Taylor?
Well, what it is 2 years ago they announced the satellite, where you can SOS with it. But I heard at the WWDC or whatever it's called yesterday, that they're gonna increase it now to where you can actually just communicate with text messages to family too, not just the SOS stuff. But I don't know the cost and how much you can do it and how tricky it is to do it. I didn't hear all that.
Yeah. Even with that, I'm still team Android.
Yeah, same here, but that's a different show and different fighting.
I do know what is kind of cool is that T-Mobile is working with Starlink to have a satellite phone. And I was like, man, if you could make that like a track phone where you basically bought time or whatever, that would be freaking awesome.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
That's the way of the
That would be
future for
amazing.
sure. Man.
Yeah,
Got to shave off even more weight and just bring your phone there. I think.
that's right.
All right. I don't know anything. I don't know that much about it. I just know like a couple of years ago when it launched that they were only using one type of network and they weren't using the Iridium network, which I think the Garmin was using. I'm not sure if that has changed
Yeah,
with
and I
iPhone, but just
I haven't really done any studying to see what's been the success of their program with their phones, period. So it'd be interesting to read into if they're actually going to allow you to communicate that way. Because man, that would be nice to have. Just use my cell phone. So,
oh yeah, for sure. All right, good roundup here. Now we're getting into the good stuff here on the back nine. Here we've got the big four. I call it big four. I don't know why people call it big three. Why they want to like lump in your sleep system as two different items there. But let's talk about our sleeping.
Dave always
pad.
trying to get them on a technical.
Dude, come on. I mean, two of the pieces are one item, and then the other one they want to lump two into it. I don't get it.
Look, listen. Dave never fails on any of my YouTube videos to try to get me on a technical every time.
Gotta do it, man. Keep it PC.
I enjoy it. I look forward to his comment because I know he's going to find a technical to get me on.
Yeah, I think you even called me out in one of your videos too. I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna call you out for sure. All right, sleeping pad, and if you got a quilt or a bag, I don't know if anybody has a bag on this one, but Huck, Huck's got the unicorns. I'm gonna let him take.
Yes, I do
on this one here.
Well,
so go for it, but
my sleeping pad I like to take when I need to cut weight and make it ultralight is the Big Agnes Axle Insulated Pad, which is probably one of the more controversial pads that's ever been made. I sleep warm on it, but everybody and their mother did a review on that thing and said it slept cold. But like I remember Tim Watson did one, Devin did one, like somebody else, like everybody's like, oh, this is one of the worst pads ever made. You're cold. I'm warm on it. But I pair that with my unicorn, my Cedar Ridge Helium quilt, which you can no longer get. It's a 20-degree regular wide. It's like got like DCF baffles. I think it's 1,000 fill power down. Weighs 14.9 ounces. Yeah,
tell me you didn't spend that amount on it though. I want to know that you didn't spend that amount.
So I did not spend the $500 that they were selling it for. I paid
my lord.
I paid $300. I had just reached out to Warren at the time, the owner, and I said, hey, do you got anything like in stock available? I want something soon. And he had this one, and all it had was like there was a little nick on the bottom that they had patched, and they just did a sew patch on there. So it's like, yeah, I don't care. So
totally,
yeah,
totally worth it.
And then on top of that, I got an X-Pad pillow I like that's got the highest height out of all the pillows on the market, or it used to, and that's like 3.4 ounces. And I get a great night's sleep. So yeah, pretty happy with that sleep system.
Yeah, I had to amend that here. We'll throw the pillows in there as well. Just tack that on. Yeah, it's pretty solid. The fact that you can't even get that anymore makes that kind of hard as far as like anybody trying to mimic your system there. But especially with that warmth rating, weight to warmth ratio there, kind of took me a second to figure that one out. That one's pretty killer. All right, Taylor, what you got? I know yours is also pretty warm as well, right?
Yeah, just the sleep system, right? Which is what we're talking about.
Going to be your pad, your quilt, and pillow. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I have to use a pillow.
So I do, definitely, just for Dave. So I actually flipped between two different kits. I picked my fallback one for this setup. I had to do this one because it had Dave's favorite pillow in it. But so I used the Tensor, which is like 3 generations back Tensor, the one that was from 2019, I think, around there, because I got it right before COVID. So I still use that same setup. I think the R rating's like 3.5, and it's right around a pound. And I had to go back and hunt all that data because you can't even find it because they've had 2 different iterations since mine. So anyways, that's my pad, which has been great. It's comfortable for me. I'm a side sleeper, have no problem with it. I have a Lighting Equipment Revelation 30-degree. That quilt is close to 4 years old and is definitely getting some down bunching in places on me. So I'm going to try to see if I can get it spread back out by cleaning it. The tennis balls, that's my first thing, but I'm probably going to be shopping for a new one soon. And then I use Trekology pillow that straps right over my Tensor. So it's been a solid kit. I sleep. I'm actually a cold nature person, but I sleep really hot. So I can push that. I've pushed that kit below 30 degrees multiple times, probably into the high 20s multiple times.
Okay. I feel like I'm a warm weather sleeper or warmer sleeper, but I've
It's
actually
that down
recently.
suit.
No, I've
Oh
ditched
yeah. Well, it's worn weight.
Yeah.
That's true. I just wear it all the time. Just keep it swampy all the time. No, I actually recently ditched. I think I probably have about a similar year model as you do, Taylor. And I just found out that like once you dip into the 30s, like it just wasn't doing the job for me. So I recently had to ditch mine. But I don't know if I'm gonna really contest you on any of those, other than I hate inflatable pillows. I think they're just god awful and should be banned forever.
Just a note, like if I'm gonna I do like the Trekology. I'm not gonna lie, but if I'm gonna sleep, my favorite setup is the Sea to Summit Etherlight with the Arrows pillow that Velcros on the top. That's got the down in the pillow. I freaking love that setup. It's extremely comfortable to me.
There is a new Trekology that's like massive.
Oh, really?
I really love. It's like it's like 20 inches or 25 inches wide. It's all like 3.5 inches like in depth. It's amazing. Actually, it's
See,
really comfortable.
That's something I've learned is I know Dave doesn't like the inflatable pillows, but a lot of people don't like small pillows. They like really large pillows.
I need a large pillow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of makes sense, especially if you toss and turn a little bit at night. I mean, I'm using, well, I'll talk about mine in a second, but Jared, why don't you go ahead?
Yeah, man. I got the so I've got a Thermarest Chorus quilt, and this is one that I don't know how I got ahead of the game on this one. It was back during the pandemic. They had just come out with it, and I scored it for like it was like 160 normally, and I got 20% off. So I think I got it for somewhere in the ballpark of like $130, and now they're selling it close to 300. And it's super light. I don't understand how it works because when I hold it up, the down looks like it's all clumped together, but it stays really warm. And I've got that XPED pad, the XPED 3 that I think is a really decent one. And I wouldn't have a nice pad like that if Patty hadn't bought it for me. And then I use I do have an inflatable pillow, but to your point, I don't really love it. And so if I am going to use it, I have to kind of take my backpack and create a block where they just fly out from under my head all the time. So I usually will end up kind of the straps. I don't have straps on my pillow. I don't have straps.
Doesn't make it more comfortable.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. It's just it works pretty well for me in these sort of lighter situations. But if I'm going for like comfort, I've got a really nice Feathered Friends Flicker. That was also a gift. And that thing is like, they give you a card to tell you like the names of the ducks and geese they got the down from. I mean, it's just incredible bag, and it's or quilt rather, super comfortable and very, very big range. Like you can go summertime to deep winter in that thing.
Very cool. Yeah, I don't know. I've heard some mixed reviews on the Chorus, so it's cool to see that we've got a fan of it there.
Dave, you're calling this the big four, isn't it? The big five, because you got to have a pillow.
The pillow. You don't have to have a pillow. You might as well. You want to make that argument? Go ahead. I can't even get the big four to stick. So if you want to go another level, be my guest. All right, let's do mine real quick before getting into the next one, because we're starting to run a little short on time here. I'm trying to stick to that hour mark. For mine, what did I do? I think I'm the only one on this list. Correct me if I'm wrong, Jared, because I'm pretty sure Huck and Taylor are excluded from this. I think I'm the only one who's got a long and wide pad, but my R value is just for summer. So I also went with the XPED, but I went with the 1R, but it's the long and wide in the mummy cut. I'm going with the Super Plush Thermarest pillow, not the most heaviest or not the heaviest, but one of the heaviest options that you can go with. But but you can't compromise your sleep. And what was the last one here? The pad, no, the quilt. So I'm just going with on the light equipment, Revelation, Apex. I think it's like a 50-degree, again, warmer weather type of stuff. But that's super light. I don't know if it's the same stuff they put in their Torrid jacket, but synthetic insulation, just like a thin sheet in that one.
Yeah, when it comes along, I'll use that for winter, but for summer, there's really no need for a long. I don't think so.
For the pad or the quilt?
The quilt.
Yeah, did I say long? I thought mine was a regular quilt.
Oh, you're talking about the pad. You're talking about the pad.
Yeah, I was talking about the pad. Yeah,
the
pad is a little longer.
Oh,
I like a little bit extra real estate there, just like some people like the bigger pillow. I went with the Apex or Revelation because it has the open foot box for warmer weather. I don't like it for colder weather, but for warmer weather trips, especially if the temp dips a little bit, you can throw that over yourself and kind of use it as like a couple people in here were talking about the Get Out Gear puffy blanket. It kind of doubles as one of those if you wanted to use that. Getting into closer of the shoulder seasons there. All right, moving right along here. What's my next one? All right, last two here. I'm gonna save the best for last. Let's go with the pack next. And we got a couple of 6 Moon Design lovers in the house tonight. But Huck, why don't you start us off here? I know, that's what I said.
So it's a Flight 30 Ultra. It's one of their newer packs. So if everybody on the chat knows, I'm a 6 Moon Designs ambassador. Been with them since 2018. No, 2019. So this thing weighs 31 ounces, 30 liters. So you got to have your everything dialed in if you're going to use a 30-liter pack. And I'm going to use this whole setup in 2 weeks. So if it doesn't work out, I'm in trouble.
I mean, they've never had like the lightest weight stuff, but they've been one of the first proponents of that like running vest style. I'm still itching to try that out, so I got to give you props.
That does have the vest.
Yep. All right, nothing on that one, Taylor, because it's over to you next.
No, I don't have anything against 6 Moon. I truly don't know anything about their packs, so to be honest with you.
Same.
No, I have I have tried a lot of packs over the years, and the one that I continue to go back to is the Hyperlight Mountain Gear Southwest. I guess it's mine when I bought it. It was the 3400, but now it's the 55-liter, I guess. That pack has been thrown around so much over the years, and it is still. I mean, it's really dirty, but as far as like the material is still like very durable and very. Like I don't see it failing anytime soon, and I just love that pack. Honestly, it's been great, and I think it's right around 2 pounds, and it's just solid. It doesn't. Only thing it doesn't have that I've liked on some other packs is I'm drawing a blank right now, but where the shoulder straps, I can't remember. Load lifters. I couldn't think of the name.
I don't think any Hyperlight has those.
They don't. But I kind of wish it had that at sometimes, but it still carries a lot of weight really well. I've carried 6 or 7 days of food in there with all of my gear and still it's not absolutely comfortable, but pretty comfortable.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of view the HMG stuff sort of like the Danders and stuff. It's got a cult following. And I've heard like it's sort of like polarizing, right? Like I've heard some people that just absolutely hate it and other people that absolutely love it. So
and that's the thing I don't pressure anybody that they should have one. I just really like the pack and it's been great for me. That's the thing about it. It's been a pack that I just keep going back to.
Yeah. They definitely seem durable and like they hold up for quite a while. All right, Jared, another 6 Moon. I think yours is different, right?
Yeah, it's a different one. It's an older one. It's the Flight 40, so a little bit bigger. Still have to really kind of be careful about dialing things in because it's only a 40-liter, but it's got really nice like long side pockets that I can fit multiple things in. So do water in one side, and then when I'm carrying my drone, I'll actually just put it in like a Ziploc bag and put it in the side and carry it that way. So a lot of versatility there. And then the elastic straps kind of go in this weird spine part that's proven to be really useful for drying gear at nighttime. And I love the roll down top. The thing about 6 Moon is that it's just it's dollar for dollar. I think all of their gear is just phenomenal value. So like if you are interested in getting into ultralight and you want to save some money, Six Moon is a great way to go because they've got decent packs. I mean, I think that Flight 40 is only 30, 40 ounces, something like that, which is still not bad. And it was only maybe $180 when I got it. Might not have even been that. So just really like their stuff. And that bag has been, I mean, that one did 500 miles for me on the CT a couple of years ago, and still put in a few more miles. I think it might have done like half of the JMT with me too.
Yeah, I mean, just to comment on Six Moon. I mean, I used this Lunar Solo for about a year and a half, and it's a great tent.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got that. What's the one? I should know the name of this one. It's the one where it's got just the top, the sort of triangle, and then it's got the bug net, the Deschutes. Yeah, but I've got the plus with the bug net on the bottom, and that thing 16 ounces is incredible. You carry Tyvek if you want for your sleeping pad, but sets up really nicely, holds up. It's bulletproof in heavy weather. Had some real adventures in that puppy.
Nice. All right, I'll round it out here for the last category. And again, well, with some of you guys, again, I got to give you props because some of them, like, you know, Taylor's has a frame, I think, and you guys might be able to carry heavier gear, but I got to go with the Z-Packs, Nero here. Not a bad price on it, but you definitely have to be careful with your overall weight on this guy. I was pushing, I think, a little bit over 20 pounds, Huck, which is, they say that you should only have 20 on the Trans-Catalina Trail, and I was definitely feeling it. So you definitely have to heed caution with this pack. That doesn't have like a traditional belt on it either, so you want to be somewhere around the ballpark of like 15-ish total pounds, I would say, to make it ride a little bit more comfortable. But I have been impressed with their packs. I was talking with Huck earlier, and I was like, you know what, there's been a couple of companies where I haven't really been rooting for them, but I gave them a shot, and this is one of the ones that have kind of just been impressing me. And I also have their arc haul, and it's riding pretty comfortable.
I feel like they need to bring us on and go ahead.
Oh yeah, they make a great sponsor. Just saying.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say is that they used to have their own YouTube channel. I think it was doing pretty well. They had as Team Z-Packs, and I mean, I'm just saying they could bring in. They'd have almost full nationwide coverage with the four of us. You know, we got the. We need a New Englander in the mix, and we'd be good to go. So we get Doc Watson here. We're golden.
There you go. That's it. Awesome.
Before we go, I am thinking about switching up to the Velocity Outdoor Gear UL 40. It's on garage grown gear. 40-liter pack, weighs like 15 ounces. I might pick that up for my UL kit. We'll see. I've heard good things about them, but not sure.
That's some high praise because you just told me about that not too long ago. So for you to be mentioning it live, that's pretty high praise there.
I'll just say they keep catching my eye, and I keep going back to it. And there's got to be something about it's got the flat bottom too. So maybe,
liking it. All right, let's see how much more we can squeeze in here. Last big ticket item here is going to be your shelter. So I did the sneak peek, so I apologize, Huck.
I saw that down below.
Down at the bottom. But why don't you let us know about this Gatewood cape here?
So I've used Gatewood cape before, only a couple times actually, but I usually pair it with the Serenity net. So technically, both of those weigh like 11 ounces, so it's like 22 ounces for the shelter. But if there's no rain involved at all, if there's nothing like that's going to happen, I'll just bring the Serenity net, and that's 11 ounces. But I need some sort of netting. I'm not one of those guys that likes the cowboy camp. I don't like just like a cape to shelter, like just a tarp. I can't do it. I'm just one of those things with bugs crawling over me or scorpions that we have in the desert, rattlesnakes we have in the mountains. Nope. So I like to have that some sort of barrier in between. But I pair that with a carbon fiber pole and then a DCF bag with some mini groundhogs. So
I do love the innovation of that and a lot of the Six Moon stuff. I have heard it might be a little bit cramped in there. I'm not sure if you've had a similar experience, Huck, but
not with the Serenity net, and I'm 5'11", but if you're moving around all night, you're not bringing anything in the tent though. That's for sure. Everything else is staying outside. But
pretty impressed. I mean, like 22 ounces for like basically essentially like a double walled system, and then you also have the rain protection there with the poncho. It's pretty awesome. All right, Taylor, you're up. You going X mid or would you go with?
No, I love the X mid, but that's been better for when me and Rachel are both backpacking. So I did get the Plex. Is it Plex Solo? I'm getting mixed up with names right now. And I love that tent so far. I did forget to add my Tyvek to my kit there, but it's been I've probably used it on 4 trips now, I think, since the beginning of the year, and I'm loving that tent. It's pretty straightforward to set up, and it's super light. That's the crazy thing. And for me, when I'm just by myself, it works perfect.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna tack on there too because I'm gonna skip Jared again. Sorry, bud. Because I also have the same tent, but I ended up getting the thicker material. Ended up buying it from.
I tossed
that
back and forth, but then
Exposure.
Sorry, man, I didn't mean to interrupt you,
Okay.
but I couldn't justify spending that much money on another Dyneema tent when you're encroaching my weight of my X mid if I went any heavier. So I went with the thinner material because I wanted to shave those couple extra ounces.
Yeah, it was my fault because I didn't ask him what color it was. So I think it was like 2 of the colors are a thicker Dyneema rather than the other one. I definitely wanted the lighter one, but he snuck it in. I'm cool with that because I know it's going to last.
Would you miss out like on like 10 grams in between or something?
I think it's like
it's 2 ounces, isn't it?
Or it's
really?
like 1.25 ounces to 1.5 ounces heavier. Yeah,
it's not that much.
Yeah, the whole reason why you get it right is for like these type of lists, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Like you know. So anyway, I mean, I'm actually gonna say that I don't love it so far. I don't have a lot of experience in it, but that super low door height, I'm not a big fan of, and I'm just not a fan of the single pole designs anymore. But just like Jared and the Deschutes. The single pole seems to be more sturdy and definitely seems to be more like storm worthy than the dual pole design. So I'm not totally in love with it, but if I want to go light, I'm carrying this.
I know that Crow has told he's rocked one for quite a while now, and he said he's put that thing through some ugly storms and it's done really well.
Rock on. All right, Jared, round us out here before we head on over to the honorable mention. You're the only one that I'm going to do a screen share for because I'm not sure anybody would actually know which product this is, but why don't you go for it?
This is a crazy, so this tent, the reason nobody knows it is because they primarily market to hunters. And so it's this company, Stone Glacier, and I saw their gear first on, I think this guy, Dan Stenziano, does these really great videos out in Huck's neck of the woods. And he always had one of these poking around in the back of his when he was filming. So it's like a completely modular setup where you can buy the tarp, the ground sheet, the vestibule is a separate attachment. There's a bug net that fits in it. I'd go without the bug net. I mean, typically when I'm hiking somewhere like in the summertime when I take off on the CT in August, right, it's going to be cold enough at night that most of the bugs stop moving. And I'm not super worried about animals or whatever. And actually here in the chat, the comment that it looks like the split wing from Sling Fin, I think it is the same one. I think they're the same exact design, but the Sling Fin is an orange one. So I'm really excited. I bought one of these for this trip out in Joshua Tree that we were going to do. Dave and I were going to do before that snowstorm buried his entire house. And so it's 16.5 ounces. I've got the tarp like you're seeing there with the vestibule attachment as well. And then I also have the ground sheet that fits with it. And all of that is 16.5 ounces. And it is small. Like all 3 of them together are smaller than like a Nalgene bottle. I mean, it's really pretty incredible what they were able to fit into it. But again, nobody knows it because their marketing for years and years has been solely to these sort of elk hunters who go out for multi-day trips. But I think they're going to make a big name if they start advertising for through hikers and such. Not super crazy about climbing in over my pillow. That's one thing that I don't love. But if I'm going ultralight, then I'll make the sacrifice, right?
Yeah.
A true ultralighter's dream right there. So Jared is living amongst the bugs and the scorpions and the marmots and everything out there.
You'll be fine. I did maybe I think about 200 miles of the CT one year using just a poncho tarp, right? So legitimate, like,
wow.
And that one, if I hadn't switched out for the Deschutes about halfway through, I would have been in some trouble in a couple of spots. Yeah, it would have been. would have been rough. So I don't necessarily condone that or support that.
All right,
but a couple of
cool.
bugs won't kill you.
That's true. Good protein there as well. All right, let's round this one out real quick. If there are any other honorable mentions here that you want to throw in here, wasn't part of any of the other categories to try and get some last minute votes here, let's throw it in now. It doesn't have to go into any kind of order on this one. Anybody who wants to jump in, you can jump on in. Anything extra, any other creature feature comforts or anything else that you threw in there?
So I like a chair usually, but if I've got to cut weight, there's a Z seat. I'm going to this next trip. I'm bringing the Z seat sit pad. It's like 2 ounces compared to my Chair Zero, which is an ounce or 16 ounces. So yeah, I'm probably gonna regret it, but I'm trying to get under 10 pounds for the base weight. So we'll see.
I saw you did that. You had the chair in there originally, but you swapped it out for the Z seat.
But there's not much room in that 30-liter pack either, so I could strap it to the outside. But yeah,
30 liters.
And then of course, no trip is complete without some whiskey.
The flask.
That's how much you bring.
Grandpappy's cough medicine.
No. But it was the only one that was close to where I'm sitting, so yeah.
Grab whatever's closest.
Usually, yeah. 6 ounces, like the 6 ounce flask I usually take, so hold 6 ounces of whiskey.
I've got a buddy. He and I did the Ray Lakes loop, and we carried in a whole fifth of Gentleman Jack and had it in the bottle and everything. That was worth it, though, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
Anything from anybody else? I know Taylor was itching to throw it in here.
No, basically exactly what Huck said. I bought a Z seat because I have found when I do doing a shout out to Jared doing the CT for about 80 miles next month. And like those type of trips where I'm on trail all day and not spending the time hanging out at camp, usually eating and going to bed kind of thing. I don't know if I'll be doing on that one, but just the kind of longer trips like that, usually I don't need the full chair as long as I got the seat to be able to sit down and eat dinner and stuff. And I can cut that, pretty much a pound out of my pack. I see it beneficial. Now, as far as like overnight trips and 2-night trips, weekend warrior kind of stuff, I definitely want my chair.
Yeah. So did you end up taking it out of your list here? I saw it in here.
No, it's still in there because normally, I usually do a lot of weekend warrior stuff. I usually do one large trip every summer, and that's where I see using the Z seat.
Okay. Very good. Anything else in here, Jared? Any luxuries you bring or any Rambo knives?
I mean, the closest thing that I've got is that it's a My Trail Company poncho tarp. It's the one I mentioned a little while ago. And the thing I like about it is actually it's got all the guy outlines and so sometimes I'll take a couple of pieces of 550 cord or those the little clamp things that you can tighten them up, and they come at you basically can hang it up as a shelter if it rains, and a couple of you can sit under it whenever it's raining or hailing or whatever. And I really like that setup. It's 7 ounces, and sometimes I'll carry that even if I have like frog togs or a different rain suit going on.
Right on. Yeah, it's pretty clutch if you can go with it. That's another reason why I like the Gatewood Cape there from Huck is you could set that up right by itself, right? You don't have to put the inner in it, and you could probably chill under there if you wanted to. So it's another great feature of that tent. For me, I've got a few different wacky and crazy things in here. They're not the puffy pants, Jared, but I got a few different things. Number one, probably the most important, and I'm an advocate. I've been an advocate lately within the last year or two, is a cork ball. I really like it. Using that along with like your trekking poles to roll out the sore muscles, I think has been sort of a game changer for me. So I've got that in there. I have these crazy things called stick stashers, which is just a magnet that you attach to your trekking poles. So you can throw it back up there. Not really necessary, but if you want to be a little bit more lazy out there, that kind of works out. I put in some UL waterproof socks, mostly for the rain, not really for stream crossings, just to keep your feet a little bit more dry, especially if you pair them with like some liner socks, so you can try to cut down on some of the blisters out there. And then the last thing, you guys are going to rip me for this one, especially Taylor, but bear mace. Got to be safe out there. I got to rep the bear mace. Got to do it.
I've only carried it one time. That was in grizzly country. Ever since I don't see a need for it anywhere. There's just regular black bears, but
They've got pine
You heard it
cones you
here.
can use. Pine
Yeah.
You heard it
cones.
here first. If you come into an accident, it's all these guys' faults for not recommending.
I get ripped
bear.
because I absolutely hate. Oh, go ahead, Huck. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, just take one of these. I don't know if you guys have seen these before. A Mayan death whistle.
Whoa!
I'll bring it out next time, Dave. You blow on it, it sounds like somebody screaming like for their death.
My Lord,
that'll scare the bears
Breaking
away
out
right
the
there. Check it out sometime.
No, I was just going to say that unless it's absolutely required, I hate bear canisters. I will avoid it any chance I can to have a bear canister.
Yes.
That stupid thing takes up so much room in my pack, and then it weighs like 2 pounds.
Yeah,
I hate it.
I don't know anybody who like loves it. I might.
Well, there is some backpackers out there that absolutely swear by them. That's the only thing they'll use. They might not seen a bear in 100 years in this place. They still bring in that bear canister.
Right. I mean, it's definitely. There's no doubt on its usefulness. I don't think it's like a favorite of like people who actually carry them. I don't think people actually like it for that reason of carrying the weight. All right. It's a good roundup here. We're a little bit over the hour. I'm going to end up putting the poll here. Let's launch the poll for everybody. You got all the lists there in the description. Comb through them one more time. I'll keep this going for a few minutes here. Get your votes in on who you think is the winner here. Who's your favorite? Who do you like the best? Just know that for me personally here, I'm going to say, you got to carry your cell phone weight in there. I was a little bit more meticulous with mine here, guys. I got me the car keys, all that stuff you're going to be carrying. You don't end up like not carrying that stuff. So I don't know. I think mine's a little bit more comprehensive. I got
Your
that long
car keys in the
tag.
gas cap.
The gas. I think Brad made that mistake too.
I do hope that at some point in this universe, right, that a bear steals and then wears Dave's down suit, right?
Oh, that would be amazing.
He's got, it's like Sophie's Choice. He's like, do I spray it with the bear spray and it's going to ruin my down suit, or do I let it get away and hope I find it at the laundromat later? You just never know.
Not even on my list, and he's tearing it down. Never let me forget that. It's fine. I'll never let you forget like how you messed up the alcohol stove in the Smokies.
Hey, I told you I thought it was still. I said it's still on. It's still on fire, and you said pour some more heat on it, man.
We're doing a whole stream on that one, the whole trail name thing. We're gonna deep dive into that and hash that out for sure. All right. It's been going maybe for another minute or so. I'll let it run just because Snackbox is running away with it so far. He's got 50% of the vote.
Oh, man.
Looks like he might be the favorite
majority
here. Again, hit that poll. And I was pretty much right on. We were hovering around 10 to 15 people on this stream here. We got 5. Oh, it's tied right now. Huck and Snackbox are tied. And Jared just took the lead again. So you guys were at 40.
He just text Patty.
Oh, man.
All of his dogs are like coming in voting. All right. I think that'll do it. I'm not sure we're going to get any other votes in here. So I'll end it. Snackbox, he ended up winning. Insane, dude, with your tarp setup and a couple other crazy items there. But you got it, bud. Congrats.
Hey, man, even a broken clock's right twice a day,
I think his rep kind of pushed him over the finish line there on that one, but he's got some CT rep and fans in this chat here tonight, but definitely solid list all around, gentlemen.
What do you think would happen if it turned out that I actually just watched a lot of YouTube videos on the CT and I've never actually set foot on it, Like it's the biggest conspiracy in the hiking YouTube world.
Oh, man.
He did sit in Atlanta and talk a lot about the CT, so that wasn't close to the CT.
Yeah. I might not have even been in Atlanta. I survived those films and didn't get shot or stabbed, so I might not have even been there.
Doc saying he voted for Huck because of the whiskey on the Tenkara ride. There you go. Gotta vote for that one. I hate all of you because I don't think I got any votes. So thanks.
The host didn't even get a vote.
We talked up your we talked up your down suit that's not even on the list too much. Sorry, man.
Unbelievable. Never forget that for sure. All right, I think that's gonna do it. This one's been really fun, guys. Thanks for joining. Again, I feel like this is a good one. We can do a couple of different ones on this. Just create like a couple of different types of lists and do this kind of showdown because it was a lot of fun. So
why don't just throw an idea.
Ahead.
You could do a deep winter one just to focus completely on a deep winter loadout.
I was thinking that one, or like like total comfort or something like that, like extreme comfort. You're not going that many miles. As another one. Let me throw some social love up on here. You can find Huck here on YouTube at Huck Outdoors, also on Instagram, Huck_Outdoors, and on Facebook. He's pretty active on the socials. We've got Jared over here on YouTube, Outside Comfort Zone, and on Instagram at Backcountry Champion. He's posting daily over on Instagram. And then he's been a little bit busy lately. He hasn't been posting as much, but
I've got a couple videos loaded.
Okay, loaded, ready to go. Here on YouTube, Southern Hike, and on Instagram, same name, just a lowercase. And you know where to find me if you're already watching it here on YouTube. So yeah, that's going to do it. Thanks, gentlemen, for joining. A really fun night, really fun roundup. And we'll see you all in the next one. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Dave.
Yeah, man.
Thank you.